What's everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'll be ranking every single Fortnite weapon inside of Chapter 6. First of all, we will be starting with the Veiled Precision SMG. I personally think it's not a very great gun, just because it doesn't have very much range and the overall damage is kind of low. As well as the structure damage is kind of low, just for that I'll put it in C tier. Next up is the Ani Shotgun. I would say this is like a B tier gun just because the amount of damage you can do very easily from mid range. The only downside is it has a 2-bullet chamber, so you have to reload, and the structure damage is also kind of low on it, so you have to keep that in mind when using it. Now we have the Twin Fire Auto Shotgun. Let's be honest, nobody but people that hide in buildings all game really use this. Its damage is very inconsistent, it doesn't even have that high of a fire rate. D tier. Other than some very specific scenarios, you can actually use it. Next up is the Surge Fire SMG. This gun is very interesting because the more you shoot it, the faster it shoots. It doesn't have a scope and it has a ammo tray of 40 bullets, which is a lot. I personally think it's like a D tier gun just because it doesn't have a scope and you can't really use it from long range or medium range even. The Fury Assault Rifle. This weapon does not have a scope, but it's very good. Its damage is pretty high and its fire rate's very nice. The recoil is not too hard to control. I just really like it. I think it's a very solid gun for medium range. Once you get to long range, it's not as good. Put it in an A tier. I just feel like it gets very overlooked because there is a much better assault rifle called the Hollow Twister AR. By far, this is the best AR in the entire game right now. It has a scope which makes it so it can be used from longer range. It has a high fire rate and it does lots of damage, and you can shoot people pretty easily through walls. It also is hit scan like everything else, which makes it much easier to hit, and the hip fire is also pretty nice. I love this gun. It's by far the best AR this season. S tier. Now we have the Sentinel Pump. Ooh, this shotgun is so good. It's pretty much the only good one this season. It has a really good amount of damage it does, and the structure damage is so much so you can pretty much just shoot through the wall and break it instantly. I really think it's amazing. Along with the Mythic and 200 pump, it's just an overall amazing gun. S tier plus. The Suppressed Pistol. I love this pistol very much. The long range damage on it is very bad. It does nothing if you do lens shots, but if you're close range, it shoots super fast and does so much damage. I love this gun. It's like a B tier gun for me. Okay, so now we're moving off of weapons and just to things that you can actually deal damage with. The first one is the Fire Ani Mask. What is this thing? It's horrible. It's almost impossible to land the shot. Although if you do hit the shot, it does 100 damage. I've personally never landed a shot. It's really hard to do. If you're skilled, you can do it. But if you're not very skilled, it's a very bad thing to pick up. The Typhoon Blade. It's only one of 2 movement items this season, so lots of people will pick it up. The damage it does isn't really that high, so I know most people don't really use it for damage, but if you do jump in somebody's box, you can do lots of damage, and it is a very fun thing to use. For actual competitive usage, it's really not that good for damage. Okay, so now that I've ranked every single thing, now I'll show you my favorite loadouts for builds and zero. For slot number 1, or the assault rifle, I would do the Hollow Twister AR just because of the range it has, and the damage is pretty easy to hit. You can do the Fury, but it makes it so you can't do anything from long range. For the shotgun, I would do the Sentinel Pump, just because it's really the only good pump this season. You can shoot people and not have to reload very often. It does very solid damage, and the structure damage with it is very nice. For movement, I would pick the Void Ani Mask just because the movement is so good with it. 15 uses is enough. It's definitely better than the Typhoon Blade. Now for heals, I'm just gonna combine them because they're pretty similar. Minis and big pots, so you can heal yourself fast with minis and heal yourself to max shields with big pots. Zero build loadouts is the exact same thing. So the Hollow Twister AR, the Sentinel Pump, the Void Ani Mask, and the Big Pot. But instead of minis, I would do Port Bunker so you can protect yourself.